5 Ways to Break Garten of Banban 3. So the third installment of this horrible kindergarten has finally released, and we go even deeper into the facility. And as you can guess, I kind of broke the game. So these are 5 game breaks that you can do yourself without any cheats or mods or anything like that. Now, I do like hacking, but that isn't necessary for what we're doing today. Number 1. So we're going to be doing these a little bit out of order, and we're going to start with the boss room. So there is this 2-headed chameleon thing that you have to fight in this weird room where there's multiple platforms and you have these boards going back and forth. And the goal is we put these rockets onto the chameleon's tongue, and then it eats the rockets, and after 4 hits, it goes bye-bye and falls off the level. So these are the clear conditions for the room, and once you defeat this enemy, you can then go behind it and then grab 2 party hats that must be placed on this weird thing in the hallway. But let's talk about that. After defeating the boss, there is this board that falls from the ceiling that lets you get over to where the boss was to grab those items. However, those items are always present in this boss fight. In fact, you don't need to defeat the boss to get over there. Now, the guardrails in this room prevent us from jumping over them because they are just high enough so that we cannot pass them. However, the way these platforms are designed is as a platform first, and then they put the guardrail on the side, which means the collision for the platform actually extends in a very, very small increment past the guardrails. And that means our player character collider can actually stand on these if we walk up against them. So if we jump over this fence while continually holding to the left, and then we jump for this other fence while holding forward and then to the left again, we can land on the side of these platforms and then get behind the beast and grab the party hats before the beast is defeated. Now the beast does not do anything when we're over here. It just kinda still functions as normal, and it can shoot us from through its body, which is a bit strange. Its head also turns around to look at us, breaking its own neck, so that's a thing. But the bigger problem is that due to the proximity back here, we are most likely going to die from the projectile attack. But even if we don't, there's no way to get out of this room until the boss is defeated. However, it's still really funny that you can get the reward before defeating the boss. Number 2. And the second game break actually takes place right after this. So we need these party hats as a disguise or a costume for this mannequin thing. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we can stand in front of it and then spam the E key and let this thing push us really fast into the bird room. And we need this so that the audio from this mannequin will scare the younger Opila Bird so that it will run away from the door so we don't die if we try to pick it up then. Normally, if you try to pick it up without doing this, you will get jump scared by the Opilas up top and you'll die. However, this next section is a bit wonky because you're supposed to jump on top of the bird and use the interact key while landing so that you can ride said bird. And this does work sometimes, like 33% of the time, but there's some other outcomes that you can have that are very jarring. The simpler outcome is you jump on the bird while interacting, and you will get jump scared the second you actually land on the bird. So you're on the back riding it, and the bird is screaming in front of you, and for some reason that kills you. And that's kind of funny, but oh my gosh, this next one is completely insane. So sometimes when you jump on this bird, and you're mashing the jump button, and you're clicking like a mad lad, while also spamming the interact key, well, sometimes you activate anti-gravity mode. And this breaks the entire game. So basically, I have no idea what happened, and while doing this, I was able to pass through walls, and it shot me way outside the map. I honestly thought the game crashed, but what actually happened was I was pushed very far out of bounds, and there was no in-game lighting, so I thought the screen was frozen. But in reality, my screen was just so dark, I couldn't tell where I was at. But then I realized I could actually control this. So I eventually made it back into the level, and that's when I realized, at least what I think is happening, is I landed on the bird, but also got off the bird at the same time. So it allowed me to move as the player, but my player position was also still modified by the position of the bird. So basically none of the rules of the universe applied to me, and I could fly around and pass through walls. Alongside this, in order to advance the cutscene, I of course had to take the small Opila Bird and put it on the other pink bird, and then hit the switch. And as the final chase started, well, you can see things are not exactly as they should be. So much so that I had no idea what was going on. One, because this was my first time playing through this game, and I had no idea there was even a chase sequence right here. And two, I had no idea that I died in said chase sequence, because Banban was not able to reach me, or the bird, so it never ended. So yeah, that was fun. Number 3. So this one's kind of like a classic at this point, and it is a game break that was also in Garten of Banban Chapter 2. And this isn't really like a glitchy game break, it is just a shortcut, and this has to do with the breakable glass in the area where we first see Nabnab. So you're supposed to make your drone fly to all these different X's so that on its path it will fly through the glass and break it, allowing you to get into this room. But just like Garten of Banban 2, you can just fly your drone to the top of the window and then aim at the bottom of the window, and you can skip having to move your drone around this entire place because that will break the glass and save you a few clicks. Number 4. So the 4th game break takes place in the ending chase sequence, where this crazy Banban is chasing us as we ride away on our bird upmobile. And basically you have to like speed up and slow down and allow the other bird to get ahead of you and then bypass that bird so that the correct bird passes first to match the color that is in front of you. So after this, there's this showdown between Banban and Jumbo Josh, and then the giant orange octopus thing that I'm forgetting its name right now. But anyways, this brawl is going on, and you and the other bird both go up top to get to safety. Now, the issue with this is actually twofold, which I'll explain in a bit, but once player movement is restored, we are able to walk around up here, even though there are invisible walls preventing us from jumping down. However, something that was not accounted for in development is the blueprint for Opila Bird. So even though this Opila Bird cannot normally hurt us, Opila Bird as a package in Unreal Engine normally does have a jump scare tied to it. So the issue is we can go up to this Opila Bird who ran up here with us for safety, and if we do this, we will get jump scared by Opila Bird and we will die. And that death is worse than you think, because by dying here, we actually have to do the entire chase scene again. I discovered this by accident, and I wept when it happened. Onward to number 5, the final game break. Now this one takes place in that same exact room. And going back to what I was saying earlier, normally your character runs up top to safety, and then they basically get off the bird, and you can watch the cutscene from up above. However, the invisible walls I talked about before spawn about a second after you get up there. So if you're quick enough, you can actually jump off this platform down to the fight scene before those walls spawn in. And so we can stand on top of Banban while he's getting destroyed by Jumbo Josh. And this whole conflict takes place while we're down here watching this from first person in the action ourselves. Watching it from this angle is kind of funny. The invisible walls up above are probably disabled so the player can walk through them to safety, but they aren't enabled fast enough to prevent us from seeing this. And what's also interesting is that we can see there's another copy of Banban still in the tunnel chasing after us. So the Banban that was chasing us is stuck running in place while a different Banban actually spawned in. If we could actually just run down by this Banban and they can't hurt us, they'll just forever run in place trying to get the birds that got away. And that covers our 5 ways to break Garten of Banban 3. I have a very cool off-camera video coming out really soon on this game, so subscribe right now to watch it as soon as it drops. Thanks for watching everyone, and cheers!